At 7:30, we've been attempting during the past few weeks to bring you insights into both the yes and no campaigns in the same-sex marriage debate. Last week, we heard from acclaimed comedian Hannah Gadsby about her personal experience growing up gay as Tasmania debated whether to legalise homosexuality. We've also heard from Alan Joyce, the most prominent business person in the Yes campaign. Tonight, we're hearing from another highly influential Australian businessman, Roger Corbett, the former chairman of Fairfax Media and managing director of Woolworths. He's firmly in the no camp, and he joined me to explain why. Mr. Corbett, thank you for coming in.
My pleasure.
Why do you support the no vote?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I have many gay friends. I respect them enormously. I like them, and I hope they like me. I hope they even like me after tonight. But I think marriage through really generations of our society has been between a man and a woman. Of course, people have got a different sexual inclination in their life, or they're gay, have a perfect right to a union that is exactly equal and should be treated exactly equally in the community. But let's call marriage marriage, and let's find an appropriate name for other type of relationships.
And so if I'm understanding you right, your position is due to your belief in tradition.
No, my belief is really based on the concept of marriage is based on the Judeo-Christian tradition in our society, and much of our law, of course, is based on that tradition. And so marriage between a man and a woman is very deeply embedded in that area. So that's the basis of my belief.
But nonetheless, the idea of marriage and the purpose of marriage has evolved over the centuries. For example, the idea that you marry someone that because you're in love with them is a reasonably modern concept. Why do you think marriage couldn't evolve to be between two men or two women?
Well, I think basically it's between a man and a woman, because clearly a man and a woman together can create children. And marriage is really a union to provide an environment in which children can be conceived, born and brought up. And it is probably the best arrangement. It doesn't mean that gay people that don't have that inclination shouldn't have the right to have a union of their own that should have equal status, equal recognition in every way, but be called something different to marriage, because marriage is between a man and a woman.
We've seen a lot of high-profile business people and corporations come out on the yes vote side, but we've seen fewer for the no vote. You're one of the highest profile now to step out. Why do you think that has been?
Well, I think a number of people in putting the traditional view that I'm putting, I think you might find the traditional view is more widely recognised in the community than people might think, because marriage is a very special building block in this community. But I think people are scared that they might be vilified, and there've been the Margaret Court example. I might say there's also been the Alan Joyce pie incident, which was equally disgraceful. But I think people are scared of that, and often standing on tradition, and the benefit of tradition is less popular.
Are you scared about it? About putting yourself out?
I am a little, yes.
But nonetheless, you've decided to, for what reason?
Well, I feel that if you have a particular conviction and you're asked what your conviction is, you don't have much integrity or courage if you're not prepared to say so.
You're a very experienced businessman. What's your take on the stance businesses should take on social issues? You know, for a long time, businesses have had positions on policy issues and government issues, but of recent times it's been more, not more, but social issues have also become a part of it. What do you think of that?
I don't think business should take any part in this particular debate, and I think it's entirely wrong, because it presumes that everyone, all the stakeholders in that business, support that point of view. I dare say in Qantas, where Alan Joyce has been very active, and I know Alan, respect him and like him, but I think it is wrong for Qantas to take, and other companies to take the stance they are, because they're assuming everyone in that company supports that stance.
And would that be your view for any issue, like say Indigenous recognition or other issues?
No, I think it would vary from issue to issue, but this is such a fundamental issue where there is clearly both merits to both arguments. If it was, for example, slavery, I would think that that was entirely appropriate. But here there is a norm of marriage in our community being between a man and a woman. People deeply believe in that. It's not discriminatory in any way. It's a statement that is between man and women. A man and a woman and a woman can have a similar relationship, but it's different. A black man and a white man are equal, but they're clearly different. A black man will never be a white man and vice versa. So, to me, and I think to a lot of the community, marriage and the family unit between a man and woman remains paramount.
You mentioned, that the marriage between a man and a woman is the norm, but you use the example of slavery. Slavery used to be the norm at one point, and then people changed in their views. Why wouldn't it be possible to change in this area?
Well, I think, Lee, look, I want to say again, I respect homosexual people and their right to have a union, but clearly, a union between a man and a woman is different. Together, they have the capacity to produce children. A man and a woman don't. It is a different relationship. In my view, it is the way we were created. It doesn't mean I in no way think that gay people should be in any way discriminated a bit, but it is different. You can't say everyone will be white or everyone will be black. That's not the case. The majority of the people in this community, the vast majority, are men and women who are married together in a union that is called marriage.
We're out of time, unfortunately. Thank you very much, Roger Corbett.
My pleasure.